Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and start preparations for the U.S. to move its embassy from Tel Aviv to the contested city, has the potential to further inflame tensions across the Middle East. Although this is not an unexpected move, Trump expressed his intention to do so during his electoral campaign. The decision breaks with years of precedent. Trump's decision to move the embassy means he will not follow his predecessors by renewing a waiver on the Jerusalem Embassy Act of 1995, which required the embassy to eventually be moved from Tel Aviv. Since then, there has been a cross-party consensus in the U.S. that any act which recognizes the annexation of East Jerusalem by Israel and its designation as the country's capital would affect the fragile balance of power in the Middle East, and the ability of the U.S. to promote its interests in the region. U.S. diplomats have sought to tread carefully on this issue in one of the world's most treacherous political landscapes. The Palestinian leadership condemned the move before Trump spoke, as did leaders from the Arab world and beyond. The announcement of the embassy move is likely to cause a wave of resentment among Palestinians in the occupied territories and the city itself, especially after 2 decades of stalemate in the peace process and deteriorating conditions throughout the Palestinian territories. Ahead of the speech, U.S. citizens and government employees were told to avoid Jerusalem's Old City and the West Bank until further notice. Central to the peace process, Jerusalem is not just a city of historical importance to Judaism, Islam and Christianity, but also a site key to both Israeli and Palestinian identity. Add to this the centrality of the status of Jerusalem in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, often described as one of the world's most intractable disputes, and it's clear why the decision to move the U.S. embassy there has been described as tantamount to political arson. At the political level, most Israelis and Palestinians insist that Jerusalem must be the capital of their states, present and future, and that this is non-negotiable. This is why the final status of Jerusalem was deemed to be one of the thorniest issues in the Oslo peace process in the 1990s. It was envisaged to be circumnavigated, dealt with only at the stage of permanent status negotiations, once all other issues between the State of Israel and the Palestinians were resolved. As there has not been any progress in less important, yet substantive issues since Oslo, the issue of Jerusalem has acquired a symbolic importance among Palestinians. Jerusalem is a city dense in symbolism in the Palestinian national imagination. Particularly so as other, more material anchors of identity such as territory, governance and self-determination are continually being eroded by the harsh realities of Israeli occupation, the blockade of Gaza and deteriorating cooperation between Israeli and Palestinian authorities. The response to Trump's announcement by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and most of his government was muted. But its symbolic value among nationalist circles in Israel, and also among many ordinary Israelis, should not be underestimated.